Hello, my friends. This is Paulette Atencio, de Abuelita's Cocina. Welcome, welcome. Today, I am going to be teaching you how to make a very special chili that was used only for very special occasions. This chili was not made every day in this manner. It was reserved only like if somebody very important had passed away, or if somebody with a lot of money was going to get married. Anyway, they used what we call here in New Mexico, we call it Chile Caribe. Most of the time this chili, once it turns red, it is dried out in the sun and it becomes the Chile Caribe. And as you can tell, the stems and everything are still on it. And I'm going to take you, we're going to go and sit at the table, and I'm going to teach you how to devein the chili and the steps that are necessary to be able to prepare this delicious Chile Caribe de Fiesta. I really appreciate your taking the time to come and visit me. It would be very lonely without you. So thank you for coming to visit. Today I'm going to teach you how to prepare a chili that we used to refer to it as Chile Caribe. This is the type of chili that once that it needs to be picked up from the fields. A lot of it, they pick it when it's green. In many cases, they have to leave it there until it turns red. Once that happens, they take the chili and they start making what is called las ristras de Chile. A lot of times when you buy ristras, they are so beautiful. Many people buy them and they just use them just for decoration. Me, I'm like Sylvester the cat. If I see chili, those ristras wouldn't even last, not even 2 weeks. You take off the stem, just like this. Then we're going to take our scissors, and you're just going to run the scissors like that. It'll go fast, and you open it, okay? The reason that you open Chile Caribe or chili pods is because you want to ensure that it is clean, that you're not going to find any mold in there. So we'll just place it there. We're going to get the other one. Here we go, just like that, and we open it. Okay, I'm going to show you something. A lot of times, if people don't know any better, they take the chili, they just take off the stem. Sometimes it comes without the stem. But anyway, they take it for granted that the chili is going to be fine. But I'm going to show you. This chili has some defects. As you can see, all that like gray thing, it needs to be removed. You take your scissors. You don't have to throw. Many of the people, they say, that's not good. And they throw out all the chili, that one pod. You're going to get rid of all the seeds. You don't want seeds in your chili. By deveining, this is what we call deveining. You're going to take the vein of the chili, okay? That one we don't use. After all that is done, I'm going to show you. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to wash the chili in cold water, to make sure, because it has been out in the sun, it's been outside, and we have to ensure that the chili is really, really clean before we proceed. You know that after this chili has already been dried and it is red and everything, what the people would do also is that they would grind it, and they would make what is called el chile molido. This chili, I believe, comes from Hatch, and there's two gentlemen that bring the chile molido from Hatch, and then they repack it and resell it. And you can see the beautiful color that it has. You can tell that this chili has been dried out in the sun because the color is different. The next step to making this chile Caribe is you're going to wash it very well. Make sure, because it's been out in the sun. This is called una maquinita de moler. In English, it is like a hand grinder. If ladies did not have this, they would have to use what was called mano. And they would have a stone that kind of had an indentation in it to make it easier to move back and forth, because that's how it was done. And that was called un metaque. Okay, I hope I got it right. I hadn't used that word in a long time. But anyway, after the chili has been washed and everything, they would put it in here, and then they would start. And they would go, and they would just keep on going and going and going. A lot of times, it is a lot easier to do it when the chili is dry. But then you don't want to take out all the flavor by having to wash everything. And I'm just going to do a few, just so that you can get the idea as to the process. I tell you, those ladies used to work hard. I remember as a little girl, like I've said before, I was my mama's shadow. Everywhere that she went, I went. If they were, it didn't matter what they were doing, I was right there watching and watching, asking questions, why and why and why. And she never lost her temper nor anything. She would just take the time to tell me. And she would say, mijita, I'm so happy, decía, yo me siento tan feliz porque tú tienes el interés de saber de todas las comidas de nuestros pasados. Qué buena suerte, mijita, te vas a hacer buena cocinera algún día. It can be a thin consistency, but don't make it so watery that that's all you're going to have. Just a bowl of chili swimming in water, okay? So the next step that we are going to be taking is we are ready now to start the next step to making your chile Caribe de Fiesta. Welcome back, my friends. Okay, the next step is we are going to take pork. It can't be beef, it can't be lamb, it has to be pork. And that is why, pork was very expensive, and people didn't eat pork that often. But in this case, in order to continue making el chile Caribe the way it was meant to be, it needed pork. If it didn't have pork, it's not el chile Caribe de Fiesta, okay? And after the pork has been cut up, just like this, just little cubes, and don't worry, they don't have to be all the same size. After you have cubed your pork meat, you are going to place it in your crock pot, okay? You're going to add the pork meat, it is raw, with a chili sauce. And then you're just going to mix it. If you feel that it is just too thick, you can add a little bit of water to it, okay? On mine, I believe that's all that it needs. You are going to let this marinate overnight. Usually I do. Just before I go to bed, I just put the thing together. I place it inside the crock pot, and on low, it stays all night long. You should see in the morning, oh, it just smells wonderful throughout the whole house. And also, later on, I don't want to confuse you, but this is the first step in doing carne adobada, okay? When you marinate, going back, when you marinate your raw pork meat with your chili, in Spanish, we call it marinada. And that is the Spanish and the correct word for marinating, okay? The next step that we are going to do is we are going to add, maybe like a tablespoon of lard. Okay, you can hear it. It's just gonna sizzle right there. You're going to add a little bit of flour, and that can be about a tablespoon too. Okay, you're just gonna make what is called a roux. In Spanish we say, así es como guisamos las cosas, guisar. A lot of the foods in the older days, or most of the food, it can be very bland, but it has to do with the way that you add flavor to it. That is what brings the foods together. Once, and you don't want to burn this, okay? You don't want to make a brown gravy. So just when it's a golden brown, you are going to stop right there, and you're going to start adding all your chili. And you can see that is why this chili is so special, because it does take a lot of time. We are going to take the meat that has been marinated. I'm going to take the chili, just how it is, and we're going to put it in here, all of it. I am going to mix, and you're going to see. If you can come here, my friends, I want you to see this. And it has a good flavor because it has been prepared outside, and so it gets a different type of flavor del campo, they used to call it. Tiene el sabor del campo. So beautiful. And I thank you so much for coming and spending the day with me. I really enjoyed it. It wouldn't be the same without you. I hope that you will join me again. May you have a very, very blessed day. And from Abuelita's Kitchen, I say, adios, mis amigos.